Our movie today is about Victor's family who are preparing for his wedding to Victoria, whose parents were upset because their daughter was going to marry someone not that good, but they had to agree because he was rich. At that time, Victoria asked her mother, "Will I and the one I marry love each other?" Her mother told her that love has no place in marriage, and the biggest proof of that is her and her father. After that, the groom Victor and his family arrive, and Victoria's family welcome them, and they drink tea in the drawing room. At that moment, Victor was looking at the mansion and sat playing the piano. Meanwhile, Victoria was getting ready in her room, and when she heard the music, she came out to see who was playing the piano. At that moment, Victor gets nervous when he sees her, and Victoria tells him that his playing is beautiful and that her mother always prevents her from playing. She tells him that since she was young, she dreamed of the day she would love someone and marry the one she loves. Then her mother comes in, scolds, and says that they must not sit alone before marriage. At that moment, the priest comes and trains them on the wedding ceremony while their families are watching. At that moment, Lord Barkis arrives, and he apologizes sarcastically, saying, "Looks like I arrived a day early to the wedding." At that moment, Victoria's father asks his wife, "Is this lord from your family?" She replies that she doesn't remember. After that, Victor gets nervous and the ring falls from his hand. He runs to get it, but it falls under Victoria's mother's dress. At that moment, the candle lights her dress on fire, and they put it out. The priest stops the rehearsal and tells Victor that this marriage will not happen until he masters the ceremony. After that, Victor leaves the place and walks away, while Lord Barkis mocks him. Then a man with a bell in the street tells people what happened with Victor. At that moment, Victor feels upset with himself and goes walking in the forest, practicing the ceremony while holding the ring. At that moment, he finds a hand pulling him from under the ground. Victor gets terrified when he sees his bride running after him and taking him to the land of the dead. After that, the spirits keep looking at Victor in surprise. Then the bride, whose name is Emily, says that he performed the ceremony very well and that now they are considered married. At that moment, Victor asks her, "Where am I? Who are you? What is happening?" Emily tells him it is a long story. After that, one of the spirits tells him that Emily loved a man, but her family did not agree with him. She agreed with him that they would run away and marry against her family's will. Then she went to the forest to wait for him and discovered that he wanted to steal from her, and that he killed her and buried her under the tree. After that, Lord Barkis enters with a man who says he saw Victor with a strange woman in the forest. At that moment, Victor's mother denies that he knows any woman and tells them that they will look for him and begs Victoria's family to give them another chance and that they will bring the wedding back and save the situation. After that, Emily looks for Victor, who tells her that he must go home. At that moment, Emily tells him that this place has become his home and she gives him a gift. When he opens it, he finds it is the dog he had when he was young. At that moment, he becomes very happy and tells Emily that his mother used to forbid the dog to come near him. Then Emily asks him, "Will your mother reject me if she sees me?" Victor offers her to go with him to the human world to meet them. After that, Emily takes him to an old spirit and asks him to help them go to the human world so she can meet Victor's family herself. At that moment, he tells them that there is a Ukrainian spell that might help them. He brings out the book that has the spell, takes a bird's egg, opens it, and smoke comes out. At that moment, he tells them that the spell worked, and to come back they must say a certain word. After that, Emily becomes happy, and Victor asks her to wait for him in the forest, that he will go tell his family what happened, and then come back to take her and introduce her to them. After that, he goes to Victoria's house and hears her parents behind the door saying that if they see him again, they will strangle him. At that moment, Emily's mind tells her that Victor will not come back, but Emily refuses and defends Victor.
Meanwhile, Victor tries to enter Victoria's room. At that moment, Victoria is happy when she sees him, and Victor admits to her that at first he was afraid of arranged marriage, but when he saw her, he loved her and decided to spend his life with her. Suddenly, Emily enters and takes him back to the land of the dead and tells him, "You deceived me and used me. You took me to the human world just to go back to your beloved and marry her." She collapses and keeps crying. At that moment, Victor tells her, "It cannot be between us. I am alive and you are dead. You misunderstood."
When you heard me saying the vows in the forest, I was just practicing for my wedding to Victoria. At that moment, Emily becomes sad, leaves him, and walks away. After that, Victoria tells her mother what happened and that a corpse kidnapped Victor. At that moment, her mother tells her, "You must be crazy," and locks her in the room. At that moment, Victoria decides to help Victor, escapes, and goes to the priest. She tells him what happened and asks him to help her, but he does not believe her and returns her to her home. At that moment, her mother locks her up and tells the servants in the mansion to watch, so she will not try to escape again. After that, Lord Barkis asks them to let him marry Victoria. He tells them that he was about to get married, but his bride died in a tragic accident years ago. Victoria refuses and tells her family that she does not love him. At that moment, they tell her that she must marry him and save them from bankruptcy, especially after the scandal that will happen because of Victor's disappearance, and that there is no other solution but that she marry Lord Barkis. After that, Victor apologizes to Emily and finds her sitting playing the piano sadly. At that moment, he sits next to her and plays with her. Then, they hear a whistle and realize that means a new spirit has arrived. At that moment, Victor discovers that the new spirit is his driver. Then, Victor asks him about his beloved Victoria. At that moment, the driver tells him that her family forced her to marry Lord Barkis. Victor is affected and sad when he hears this. After that, the old spirit tells Emily that Victor must go back to the human world, drink poison, and die. At that moment, he can marry her and live together. Emily tells him she cannot ask Victor to do that. At that moment, Victor hears them and tells them he agrees. The old spirit tells him that if he does that, he will not be able to go back to the human world again. After that, Victor invites all the spirits to his wedding with Emily. At that moment, the spirits rise to the earth and meet their families. At that moment, the guests in Victoria's wedding and Lord Barkis get scared and run away. Then Lord Barkis tells Victoria to bring her money and escape with him. At that moment, Victoria tells him that they are bankrupt, that she was going to marry him just to save her family from bankruptcy, and she leaves him and walks away. At that moment, she finds all the spirits going to the church, and the ceremony of Victor and Emily's wedding begins. After that, Emily enters the hall, and before Victor drinks the poison, she changes her mind and stops him. She tells him she cannot steal someone else's dream and happiness, like what happened to her one day. At that moment, Victoria enters. Suddenly, Lord Barkis appears. Emily discovers he is the same man who deceived her and killed her. At that moment, he tries to kidnap Victoria from Victor, but Victor resists him. Lord Barkis tries to kill him, but Emily saves him. At that moment, Lord Barkis surrenders and says he will drink to Emily's health, who will never be a bride. At that moment, he did not know that the drink he was having contained poison. He dies and turns into a spirit. The spirits attack him and take revenge on him for what he did to Emily. After that, Victor hugs Victoria. Emily leaves them and walks away. At that moment, Victor stops her, but Emily reassures him, returns the ring to him, and thanks him for helping her, fulfilling his promise, and freeing her soul. At that moment, Emily turns into butterflies under the moonlight.